Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great start to your day, great start to your week. And we appreciate you guys more than you know. And we're happy you can come on with us, and the ones that can come live, thank you very much. And to those, hi, Ibrahim, how are you, my friend? And to those who listen to this on the podcast, Sandy, Minnesota, John, how are you? And let's see, who else is up there? Hey, Rosalinda, Madeleine, how are you? Karen from Little Britain, good morning to you. Kevin from Oshawa, good morning. Fran, Orangeville, nice to have you on this morning. Nick from our staff, good morning to you. Kathy, Port Perry. Jeanette from our staff, good morning. Judy, New Brunswick. And Donna from Park Hill, good morning. Jeanette, how are you? And Arlene, nice to have you on this morning. Rachel, good morning. Claudette, how are you from Hamner? Betty Lynn, and Betty from, I missed somebody there. Talking too much. Manitoba, I couldn't see it. See, it goes up in those clouds. Karen, I think, or Catherine. Crystal, how are you? Bonnie. Eric, salut. Donna, Bell Valley, good morning. Patricia. And Wendy from Markham, good morning. Francis from Vaughan. And Linda, New Brunswick. And Sherry from Mississauga. Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Nellie, good morning. And Nellie saying good morning to everybody else. Susan, Debbie, Yvonne, Petawawa, good morning. Dale, how are you? Nativity said I missed her. Well, I don't mean it. Georgette, good morning. Diane, Thunder Bay. A couple of more, guys. We'll get going. Gertie, how are you? Patricia. And Donna, good morning to you. And Johanna, how are you? Donna, another Donna. Love those Donnas. Marlis. Wanda from Virginia. Frances Marie. I know, I want to sing you right. Colleen, good morning out there. Rhoda from Labrador. Nicole from Magog, Quebec. Laurie from Cambridge. Darlene from South Carolina. Irene, New Brunswick. Two Arlenes. Margie from Kansas. And Denise from Chatham, Kent. Nancy said I missed her. Well, I love you. And I mean it. Marianne, Judy, Port Perry. Caroline, good morning. And Heidi. Okay, let's get back to our questions. So question and answer here again, because we had so many questions. Lise, what can I take instead of prednisone? And Lise is telling us she's on a very short course of prednisone. They're trying to shrink polyps in my nasal cavity. I'm trying to avoid surgery. Well, Lise, look, it's hard to compare almost anything to prednisone, okay? When they discovered prednisone, it's probably one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories that you can get is prednisone. They give it for lungs. They give it, I've seen prednisone given out for gout. I've seen prednisone given for rheumatoid arthritis, usually long-term. For any autoimmune, a lot of times prednisone is used. Here's the problem. Prednisone works. There's no anti-inflammatory like it, Lise. Problem. The side effects are legion. One of the biggest things that prednisone does, it suppresses your immune system. And for a short-term use, well, that's between you and your doctor, these. But, the problem with prednisone is it affects the adrenal glands, it suppresses the immune system, and there's a lot of side effects to it, but it works. Now, coming to nasal polyps, this is me, this is my experience, this is my opinion. Lise, I always look, why did you get nasal polyps, okay? Well, in my opinion, leaky gut, leaky sinuses. You have a fungal infection in the sinuses. It's the Trojan horse that gets into your body and loves moisture because yeast is the cousin of mold. And where do you get mold? In damp spaces. Where do you get yeast? Love dampness. That's why yeast loves the bladder. Yeast loves the lungs. Yeast loves the sinuses. It's because it loves moisture. But how did it get there in the first place? So those polyps, again, in my opinion, are secondary to a fungal infection, Lise. Now, it's not easy. And by the way, prednisone will make that yeast worse. Okay? Antibiotics, prednisone. Both of them are tremendous medications. They are. They work. But the side effects, okay? So, you're trying to avoid surgery. I would fix the leaky gut. Probiotics, I would sniff probiotics. It looks like you're sniffing cocaine. Take a little straw and in those sinuses, okay? I've had a lot of people over the years do that. Oil of oregano, internally and externally. Well, you can put it on but you can put oil of oregano on a Q-tip, put it up as far as you can and sniff it. Get that oil of oregano in there. Okay? I love oil of oregano and candida or fungus because it really does help. Quercetin too, I like that because it's very good for sinuses. And quercetin, by the way, helps to fix and repair leaky gut too. Anywho, thank you for the question, Lise, okay? And you got to make that decision. In terms of medication, there's probably nothing like prednisone. Natural product, it's going to take you longer. But anyway, I hope I explained that well enough for you, Lise, okay? Andrea, my daughter, our daughter, 17-year-old, showed her platelets being low. They are consistently low the last few times, and this time lower again. Why would this be? Well, you need to get that checked out. What do they call that in medicine? Thrombocytopenia? I think so. I remember learning that in school. Thrombocytopenia. Say that fast 3 times. Low platelet count, usually, this is, again, I'm bringing you back to my experience. Okay? And what I pretty well found, and you always have to get it checked out because you got to make sure there's no blood disorders, blood cancers, or whatever. Okay? Make sure of that. And I think you probably have. And, but I saw this in young women a lot of times. And the reason is because they're not meat eaters, usually. Okay? Your daughter might be an exception to that. But what I found over the years is that they don't eat enough meat, especially red meat. Okay? And their blood was, you know how I always say thick as molasses? Well, their blood is thin as molasses. Not molasses. Thin. The opposite. Now, again, they don't build blood properly because they don't, and they're low in B12. That's what I found over the years. I'm not saying necessarily that for your daughter. She might be an exception to that. But I just got to tell you, when I saw that, and I saw it a lot in young ladies, I'm not saying it's anemia, but a lot of times they just weren't producing enough platelets because of that. But again, make sure you rule out any other more serious disorders than that. But I would have them eating steak. Okay? Steak. Okay, thank you for the question. And that was Andrea. Erica, I heard that pork is bad for you. Well, you heard wrong, Erica. I defend pork. Okay? I'm a defender of it. Okay? And you heard it, Erica, because you said pigs don't, well, you heard that pigs don't sweat. I don't know that. I never heard that before. In all the years, I never heard that pigs don't sweat. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I don't know what that's got to do with their meat. Friend, I'll tell you, one of the best meats that you can eat is bacon. I know. That made me very popular in my office, by the way. Because I rarely ever met anyone that didn't like bacon. Now, they might not be eating it because they thought it was bad for them. But, you know, most people, I mean, other than a vegan or whatever, I would say, do you like bacon? Yeah. I said, well, eat it. You mean that, Doc? Yeah, I mean it. Eat it. You like eggs? Yeah, eat lots. You like bacon? Yeah. I get tired. You know what? I hear this the odd time. I get tired of bacon and eggs. I don't. Ask me if I get tired of coffee. I don't. You know, because people have said to me, Doc, I want variety. That's why I won't do the reset. There's no variety. Well, there's a lot of variety in eggs, meat, and cheese. You can make them anyway, make them and eat them any way you want. There's a lot of variety in that. But you know what? I'm 72 years old, and I've been eating bacon and eggs as long as I can remember as a kid, a young kid. Am I tired of it? No. I'd have it every day. I don't always have it. Sometimes I fast in the morning. But I like these diners where you can go have bacon and eggs at any time of the day and leave the toast aside. I love bacon and eggs. Don't you? But anyways, in my office, I always had people, I can have bacon? Yeah, you can have bacon. Yeah, it's good for you. There's more potassium in bacon than there is in a banana. What? Yeah, they tell me, my doc said I need bananas because my potassium is low. Well, eat bacon. What? Yeah. What about the fat? What about it? It's good for you. It's good for you. I know there's bacon police out there. telling you your cholesterol is going to kill you if you eat that bacon. I know, I heard it for 40, 50 years. 50 years. Okay? I told you the story of my dad, who nobody on the planet ate more steak than my father, diabetic. And nobody ate more bacon than my father. He was right. We're right. They're wrong. And that settles it. Okay. I know that's controversial, but it shouldn't be. If you just look at the nutritional value and just be honest about it, hard to beat bacon. On the food chain, only steak is better. I don't know if it tastes better. For me, I like steak more than bacon, but I love bacon. You like sausages? I love sausages. You like Italian sausages in a meat sauce? You bet your boots I do. So I don't know about pigs not sweating. Erica, I really don't. I've never heard that before. But that doesn't change my mind on the importance of pork. It's good for you. Let me put it this way. Pork is better than any fruit or vegetable that you can name in terms of food quality. How do you like that? There, I just said it. Okay. I'm sure I'm going to get pushback on that. Okay, and Betty is asking, I've been reading that, I always have trouble with this, astaxanthin is better than omega-3 and CoQ10. Well, Betty, I don't know where you read that. And you can send that to me if you want. Okay? Send it to me at info@martinclinic.com. But I'm going to tell you right now, that is insanity that someone would say that. Now, I like astaxanthin. I hope I pronounced it right. I like it. It's an antioxidant. Okay? I think it's the red pigment that you get. It's an extract from that. I like it. I'm not against it. But to say that it's better than omega-3? What? Not a chance. Better than CoQ10? Not a chance. Now, you're asking us specific questions. My eyes are dry. So I guess they were saying astaxanthin is better than omega-3 and CoQ10 for your eyes. Well, I don't know about CoQ10 for your eyes because I never used it for eyes. I like CoQ10, especially if it's ubiquinol, not ubiquinone. Yeah, I like CoQ10. I take CoQ10 every day because I look at CoQ10 more for my mitochondria. Now, you got mitochondria in your eyes, so yeah. But my first choice would be high DHA and Navitol. I've said this a lot of times on this program. I have proven it to optometrists and even ophthalmologists. They've seen the before and after in eyes with after they've been given high DHA and Navitol. Again, I've been around a long time and using Navitol for well over 30 years, 35 years. For eyes, I don't know. I just never found anything better. Okay, that's me. Am I against, my word, I got to say it again. Astaxanthin? No, I'm not against it. You want to try that for your eyes? Go for it. But I don't know. Like for me, I'd like to see the article or whatever research on that. I got no problem looking at that, but that's been my experience. I got to tell you clinically, I've been around, I was in practice for almost 50 years. I had to get results. Eyes had to improve. And that was my go-to formula, okay, for anything, dry eyes especially. Okay, thank you, Betty. Stephanie, my husband burned his hand and face from a grass fire. No fun. 2nd-degree burn. No apparent infection. Wondering about Rivera. Yeah, I'd use Rivera. I would. Just because you need a little bit, I often do this with Rivera, especially if I need a little bit of a broad application. Okay? Like Rivera is wonderful for your skin. And the way we formulate it, it's very anti-inflammatory too. It is. It's a very anti-inflammatory external product, okay, with hyaluronic acid, pine bark. Me and pine bark. Anyway, I would use it, absolutely. And to lubricate it more, this is what I often do. Use a little bit of olive oil and make sure it's a real, cold pressed olive oil. That it's real. Today, leave it up to mankind to destroy nature. I mean, it's amazing. Like sometimes you're not even getting a good olive oil, but I find olive oil very good. And I blend it, like if I've got to do more of an application, I'll blend it with Rivera. Tremendous for your skin. So that's what I would use on that burn externally. Use Navitol on the inside for that burn too. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. We appreciate the question. Okay, Andrea, boy, she's asking a big question here. I would love to hear your opinion on the germ theory. Do we really spread viruses and germs, or do we eventually get to a toxic overload where the body jumps into action and starts getting things moving, creating a virus that acts like a cleaning agent? Some people brag about not getting sick, but I'm starting to believe it's our body's way to stay healthy. I've watched a few doctors talk about this, and she values my opinion. Well, listen, I have done at least a couple of podcasts on the difference between the germ theory and the soil. What do I mean by that? Well, the germ theory was brought to you by Louis Pasteur. He wasn't no dummy, okay? So you're going to hear about two Frenchmen. And actually, maybe we can post the podcast, okay? We can post it again. I'd have to go look and see what it is, what numbers it is. I know I did it at least twice over the years, where I brought to you the fight between Louis Pasteur and Antoine, okay, Béchamp, okay? Now, Louis Pasteur is famous. Pasteurization, right? Louis Pasteur. Antoine Béchamp wasn't so famous because his theory was your body, the soil. And the way you get sick is because it's internal. It's not the external. We're always around bacteria and viruses, okay? We're always around them. They surround us. And we don't live in a sterile environment. As a matter of fact, that wouldn't even be good for us. You have an immune system. And Antoine Béchamp wanted people to know that if you kept your immune system in good shape, and guys, we're going back a long way here. What we know today about the immune system versus the germ theory. But listen, Antoine lost. He lost the war. I think we lost too, because he lost. He was buried. His research was dismissed. And the germ theory took over. And listen, it led to antibiotics, wonderful antibiotics. You know me. If you need an antibiotic, you bet your boots, you better take it. No one's ever accused me of not defending antibiotics when they need to be defended. The problem is, and this is well established, it's not just my opinion, the problem is antibiotics create a whole cascade of other problems, including leaky gut and dysbiosis. Well established. There's no argument about that. And we overuse antibiotics today. And one of the big reasons antibiotics are used even in the feed and in animals is because when you on antibiotics, animals grow quicker, including cattle and chickens. It's a money thing. But antibiotics, what they do on the inside of a human being is they destroy your friendly bacteria. That creates problems. And I have brought to you research showing it can be a big factor in autism. Anyways, back to your question. I'm big on not so much germs. I'm big on building the immune system. That's why I talk a lot about sun, steak, and steel, and sleep. Why? Because I want you to build your immune system. The flu season, we don't call it that anymore. I guess we call it COVID or whatever. Why is it that the flu season has a season? Does it have anything to do with the sun? Yeah, it has a lot to do with the sun. Just as the leaves are falling off the trees because of the sun or the lack of it. Yeah. Our immune systems. I'm big on it. Look, you're not going to be able to control bacteria. Well, people try to. They clean everything. That's the worst thing you can do. They clean everything. They sterilize everything. And I'm telling you, that's not I'm not telling you not to wash your hands, okay? You go to the bathroom, wash your hands. I'm not saying that. But we over clean everything and we use chemicals to do it. And we over sterilize. Look, you're wiping out good guys. And you know what I think about those artificial soaps, hand sanitizers. I get a migraine watching people using them. You're destroying all your good bacteria. You need a balance. And really, Antoine Béchamp was trying to tell us that. Over 100 years ago. But he lost the narrative. He lost the war to Louis Pasteur. And the rest is history. We have the introduction of the pharmaceutical industry. They've done some wonderful things, by the way. But they don't want to talk about your immune system and what vitamin D does for you, the sun, what steak does for your immune system, and what steel does for your immune system, and what sleep does for your immune system. I try and bring you that on a daily basis to build your own body, to make it a lean, mean, fighting machine. Take care of your body, right? So there you go. Who was that now again? That was Andrea. Well, Andrea, okay, good for you. Okay, Dale, I thought I answered this the other day. Maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Okay. Can Dr. Martin explain hypercholesterolemia? Yeah, too much cholesterol. My friend was diagnosed with this. She eats well and exercises. She is not overweight. Her doctor and naturopath suggests statins. Well, I don't. Dale, I'm not her doctor. Again, I just talked to you about Louis Pasteur and Antoine Béchamp. And Antoine Béchamp lost. And you know what? We lost too. The world lost in a lot of ways. And there was another war that started in the 1950s when I was a little boy. And it was cholesterol. One man started the whole thing. Ancel Keys. After President Eisenhower had a heart attack. He didn't die from it. And this Ancel Keys was a pathologist. He was no dummy. He said, I know why President Eisenhower had a heart attack. Cholesterol. And there we go. The theory started. And by the 1960s, his face was on the cover of Time magazine, which was, when I was a kid, Time magazine and Life magazine, they were in my home. I saw Time magazine. My parents had a subscription to both. I read Time magazine a lot. And today, is there still a Time magazine? I don't know. I haven't seen. People, get everything online now. Anyway, all I'm saying is that war started. And one guy, and then the food industry got involved, and then the pharmaceutical industry got involved, and now we have hypercholesterolemia as a disease. I don't see it as such. And I've done 200, 300, 400 podcasts on the subject. Not just on that subject, but some of them are just on that subject. Saying we're looking for love in all wrong places. And the proof in the pudding is heart disease is worse than ever. It's the proof. If statin drugs were the cure that they're supposed to be, well, hey, gee, we wouldn't even have any more heart disease, or very little. But we're not winning the war, we're losing the war. And that's because people insist, the powers to be insist that cholesterol is the root of heart disease. I don't agree with the premise. I just don't. I think I'm right. And I want to be challenged. I got no problem with it. But lowering your cholesterol ain't gonna, you're gonna die younger. That's what I always tell people. Your body's made up of cholesterol. Your brain is made up of cholesterol. You got cholesterol in every one of your cells. Why are we trying to lower it? You know what bad cholesterol is? When it's low. And triglycerides, fat balls. That's dangerous when they're high and your cholesterol is low. That's a huge factor in heart disease. Okay? Anyway, I got excited. Okay, guys, thank you for listening, watching, putting up with my rants. Got a great week coming. Got some great studies that came out. And we love you guys. I know I say it every program, but I mean it. Okay? We want your feedback, by the way. Challenge. No problem. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments on pork. Okay? I'm sure about it. That's all right. I don't mind. Listen, guys, I developed a thick skin when I had an open line radio show. You, man. I mean, you develop a thick skin. But I'm always ready to defend my position. And you know what? Debate is good, isn't it? I think it's wonderful. Okay, guys, we appreciate you big time. And thanks for all the feedback. And send your friends over to the Doctor Is In podcast. They can listen to it on their favorite smart device. Okay, guys, thank you. Love you. Talk to you soon.